guess one way to look at this is I get to ride in a tow truck cab, and that's sort of cool. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and this morning it is just super foggy here, covered in fog. And I guess this is one of the reasons that the nearby Smoky Mountains are called the Smoky Mountains. Not that it's fire type smoke, but because the mountains oftentimes are covered in this misty smog, and so it appears like everything is smoky with just a little bit of mountains coming out, poking out through the top. I've seen photographs of the park, and that's always the way it looked. And so this morning we have lots of fog, and so it's pretty much exactly like they're describing. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and the park is a little over an hour away. I'm going to head that way. I believe they open about 8:30, and get up there just as they're opening, and hopefully see the fog as it's starting to dissipate and go away, so that I can experience the Smoky Mountains just like they were intended for their name. So I'm going to wander around the park today, and I'm not sure today how far I'll get beyond the park. I wanted to mention that last night was the first night I was really warm and comfortable in the back of the box truck, and I think that's partially because I picked up some new blankets yesterday. When I was running errands, I went over to a used store called Goodwill, and I'm explaining this for those of you not in the United States. We have what we call thrift stores. They're used clothing, used furniture, things like that that are donated. And so I picked up some very cheap blankets for like $4. And so with the extra layer of blankets underneath and over the top, everything was absolutely fantastic. Had a great night's sleep. And so that was one small annoyance that has been solved for living and sleeping inside of the box truck. Just entered the Smoky Mountains National Park, and this particular area is called Cades Cove. The visitor center is about 20 minutes ahead of me. This is the first parking lot where you can sit down and just sort of wander around and explore. There's some hiking trails near here, and behind me there's some horses and a nice pasture. Just absolutely gorgeous trees and mountains here. You can see the mist in the distance, which is starting to dissipate and go away as the morning sun sort of burns off the mist and the fog and the clouds. I'm going to continue on to the main visitor center, which is about 20 minutes from here, and just enjoy the sights. But this is certainly a beautiful, spectacular park. Over here with some nice antlers. Well, this is the first stressful moment of my North American tour and my journey in my new box truck. The engine just died just after looking at these deer that are over here at the side. So I have this nice, beautiful vista here in the nice Smoky Mountain National Park. And my engine is trying to start. I can turn it over, but it just doesn't actually start. So it's like the engine isn't getting fuel, or for some reason it's not actually going. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not enough of a mechanic. I know a little bit, but I'm not sure exactly what to do. So I've got to maybe make some calls. Hopefully I can get it going again. If not, then I might have to get it towed to a mechanic, which is going to be quite difficult given that I'm in the middle of the national park and I'm quite a distance from any mechanics. So this could be a concern. The rangers are out here trying to help me. They're calling a tow company. It looks like it's probably a fuel pump or a fuel filter that may have gone out on it. The engine's still turning over. No fluids leaking underneath, so no idea what's going on. I don't have cellular connection here. They don't have Wi-Fi in the ranger station. So this is really my only option, and I was told it may be $200 to $300 to get this towed out of here to a mechanic, plus the costs at the mechanic to get it worked on. So that's where I'm at now. The ranger just left, and they've called a tow truck to come out here. Should take about 45 minutes. They said they're not really willing to call AAA, which is the automotive service where I have towing. So this is really the only option for me, and they're going to tow me to the nearest city, and then I can get a mechanic to look at this. But anyway, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to see much of the park today until the engine is repaired. The tow truck has arrived. He's here to tow a motorhome, and apparently he says my truck's a lot smaller than he expected. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's a very big truck back there. He says it's going to be difficult to get this out of where I'm at. So we'll have to see what he comes up with and decides to do. Well, there's my box truck being towed, so it's all hooked up. We're going to take it about 30 miles from here to a mechanic. Going to have a mechanic check it out. I think it's probably a fuel pump or a fuel filter or a combination of those. I'm not sure. I guess one way to look at this is I get to ride in a tow truck cab, and that's sort of cool. They've done their diagnostic and they tell me it's the fuel pump and the fuel filter, so they've got to pull the gas tank out of the back of the box truck and then open it up so that they can put the new pump in and the fuel filter. So they're working on it now. It'll take a few hours. They should have it done today so that I'm able to drive away before they close. So that's what we're hoping for. I'm just going to do some work here online. I've got a client project, so let's try to be productive as I can. Well, they have the tank out, so now all they have to do is install the new fuel pump and the filter and put everything back together, put the gasoline back in. They have it all back together in the truck. They have the fuel pump in, the fuel filter, everything's reassembled, and now they're doing the test. I saw them start it for a second and then it died, so we'll have to see. I don't know what's going to happen. They finished the repairs, the truck's running again, so I've just got to go in and pay the bill and find out exactly what they did, and then I'll be on my way. Probably going to call it a day. It's been a little bit emotional up and down for me, so I'll go find Starbucks or a coffee shop and get myself some dinner and try to relax. I don't know, tonight maybe I'll go see a movie and just try to calm down a little bit and enjoy the rest of the day. Well, it's been a very interesting day. After I left the mechanics, they finished all the work. My total bill was about $700 for putting in the fuel pump and the fuel filter. A little bit expensive. That with the tow earlier today, which was $325. That's a little bit over $1,000 that I spent today. So I decided that it's been enough emotional stress and drama. So I just wanted to have a nice little dinner. So I came back into the city and went out for dinner. And after I came back from my dinner, I tried to get into the box truck and realized that I locked my keys in the truck. So I don't have a spare key yet. That's another thing I need to do, which I guess I'm going to do that tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, so I had to call a locksmith to come and get into the vehicle. I have a AAA membership, which did not work in the national park, but it did work for this. So the AAA locksmith came out and got me into the vehicle just a few minutes ago. So now I'm finally sitting down. It's about 8:30 at night, and going to do some video editing and try to get some work done. And that's probably all I have for this episode. Savor the moment, be happy, pursue your passions. See you next episode.